I like the song. I like the song more and more. The more I hear it, the more I like it. Welcome to Hot Mics. No, it's morning mics. What day is it? I'm so tired. I'm on a campaign trail. What the hell is happening here? Morning Mics brought to you by Venbrook Insurance. The Bushman is downtown in Portland, Maine. What a beautiful. I'm going to do a little thing here. The lighting may not be great, but I want you to see where I am. I'm in my friend's office here. My friend Pete Del Greco, one of my best buddies from college. That's his office over there. He's left for a conference meeting, but he runs a company called Maine and Company, and their job is to bring, economic development to the state of Maine. Companies come here. They want to, we want more business in Maine. So anyway, he's an amazing guy, and I'm in his office. But look, there's you can see it pretty good, right? There's downtown, little Main Street there, running down the front street, running down to the center of Portland, which is gorgeous. Those two American flags, which are hanging off the side of the building, right there. That's the old custom house, like 1800s. And this building right here, this kind of new one right here, is University of Maine, is putting some downtown buildings up. But it's like many blue cities in America, it's got its problems, but it sure is gorgeous. And they got some old cobblestone streets and everything. And boy, if you want a good beer, you bust down to Gritty McDuff's, and it's an old great seaport. And I'll tell you what, Portland's on its way back. It's gonna be great again. Hey, God, yesterday. Okay, so this happened. Steve, fire up the big announcement there.
I am Jonathan Bush. I am a husband and father of 7 extraordinary kids. I am an entrepreneur. I am a believer in the American dream. I am a disruptor. I am a fanatic Maine optimist. And I am now, right now, a candidate for governor of Maine.
Okay, let's get into it. And get into it he did. We were up in Belfast, Maine, where in 2007, Brother John, when he was the founder and CEO of Athena Health Company, and they put 1,000 jobs there. They bought an old credit card processing factory, MBNA, and they bought the building, and they put Athena Health, sort of a back office, in there, and 1,000 jobs, 1,000 careers, and so that was a perfect place to make the announcement. And of course, the current management and leadership teams were very happy to welcome him there, to let him do that. And all the media was there. And then this morning was super interesting. He made the big announcement. We went down into Belfast, and a couple of guys we're friends with, old Marty Malloy, one of the great, he's one of the top lobstermen in Maine. He's a big distributor, and a couple other fishermen guys came over, and we all went down, had a few beers in Belfast downtown. And then I drove all the way back to North Yarmouth, Maine, to stay with my buddy. And all morning long, I've been listening to radio. My brother's been on Maine. I love Maine radio, just good. Like they do radio really well here. And he's been on a tour since 6:30 this morning. So I've just been driving around listening to my brother on the radio, and he's been terrific. And amazingly, here's what they say every time he hangs up. They say, you know what? I don't know if we want the Bushes, right? The Bushes. You think of Bushes, you think establishment politicians, right? Kind of rehearsed and within the box. And every single one, when he was done, said, "Yikes! I don't think that's something we haven't heard before. That's something new." Because he has a really hard time staying in the box. The guy is brilliant, and his mind flies, and he's not really politically correct. He'll say what he's thinking, which, for better and worse. But he's not afraid to just fire away. So I've been listening to that all morning long. It's been interesting. So here we are. Good morning to everybody. Let's check in and see what's going on around the horn. Good morning from NE. That's got to be New England. I'm with you, Cammie, up here. It's finally cold in Maine. First day I got here a couple of days ago, it was like warm, like really warm. Now it's cold. It's in the low 50s. Howdy from Texas. Damn, Billy, you're looking sexy. Well, thank you, Missy. You know what I've got here? Second day hair. It's like bolognese. You know, when you have a bolognese and it's like, that's good. The second day when you bring it home, you take it out of the fridge. Then the bolognese, I get second day hair. Every woman knows this, by the way, when they get a blowout. The first night on the blowout is okay, good. Second day blowout, girls, are we right? Second day hair, baby. I'm rocking it. Finally watching on time. We've been waiting for you, my love. There's Karen. Good morning, Billy Bush. Good morning, Karen. Good to be with you. Here I am and my friend. Oh, look at this picture I see right here. He's one of my very best friends, Peter, in his office in downtown Portland, if you're just joining us. And he's one of my best college friends. And he's the godfather of my middle daughter, Mary. But look at this picture from graduation at college. Our graduation speaker was my uncle. Check out that picture. There's Billy right there on the end, the bushy. There's our friend James Cayley, Korean, but doesn't speak a word of it. He talks like this, hey, dude. And there's Peter on the end with the glasses. What a tight shot. Anyway. What's going on? Hey, nice photo. Thanks. It's downright chilly this morning in Virginia. Maybe this little cold snap. Is that what they call that all across the eastern seaboard? It's happening. It's a wholesome picture. Yeah. We were all, I remember we were out very late the night before, but we all rolled in for graduation. And you know how it is. Jesus. God, I can't believe I'm back in Maine. Every time I enter the state of Maine, I just feel different. It's like, do you have that place in your life? You know, where is that for you? Is it like Montana? Is it like somewhere where you feel connected to nature? You know what I mean? So much to talk about. Oh my God. Well, look, good morning. Cooling down in Alberta. Well, I bet Alberta's got to be freezing or soon, right? I mean, you're up there in old Canada, or as like they say, North Mexico. The LA fires. Let's talk about this son of a bitch right here. Sorry about my language, but I don't know if you followed me throughout the LA fires. I was up there the morning after in the fires and reporting extra, believe it or not. And I had my press pass and we went up there. Look at this guy. Does he look familiar to you? And I don't mean familiar like he looks like a celebrity, like, you know, whatever the kid is named from Friday Night Lights, which would be hair only. He's nowhere near as handsome. But look at this kid. He's a kid, right? Another disaffected young kid, right? I mean, you could be looking at the Charlie Kirk shooter here. How has life been so bad to you that you have to go and start a fire in the Pacific Palisades? That's 29-year-old Jonathan Rinderknecht. Sometimes he goes by the name Rinder, Jonathan Rinder. He was an Uber driver living in the Palisades area. He had a legal conflict with a neighbor at his apartment complex, and a reputation among some as a nice guy, like a normal nice guy, according to people who knew him. Except he had this flirtation and this sort of connection to fire, and he is accused of maliciously starting the Palisades fire January 1st, New Year's Day, initially suppressed. But it continued to smolder. It got down into the root system of the earth, and it was there. And then when the Santa Ana winds kicked up hard, a week later on January 7th, up it goes. The fire burned more than 23,000 acres, destroyed over 6,800 structures, resulted in 12 people dying. How is life so bad for you, buddy? In the announcement of his arrest, the prosecutor cited digital evidence using his cell phone. It's always the cell phones now. Video recordings, GPS data that put him there, witness statements, other materials that contributed. There's an AI-generated image of a burning city that he reportedly had ChatGPT produce in 2024, wanted to see what a city looked like burning. Look at you. Look at you, you grandiose piece of shit. You will never see the light of day again. What is wrong with these people, these young people? What happened to the guardrails, right? The governor that we all have. Why are his gone? Did video games, break it down? Did drugs? I mean, prescribed or otherwise. What happened? Why do we have so many of these boys? He's claimed to have listened to music with fire imagery all over it, used it in the planning. The U.S. Department of Justice has charged him with destruction of property by means of fire, federal felony, carrying a mandatory minimum sentence of 5 years and up to 20 years. Remember, 12 people died. So in my opinion, he's a murderer 12 times over. There's possible drug use allegations, other things. Some people say his parents were missionaries. They don't know. Not for sure. He's been arrested and he will appear in federal court. And there he is. But, the cell phone evidence is it on all fronts. So whoever does these things, we're always going to catch them. And sadly, it's always, too late.
I just drove, I'm going to send you a video. I just drove down Pampas Ricas.
Oh, yeah.
Is that gone?
What's that?
Is it gone?
Yeah.
Our house is gone.
There's one house that's not gone. It's in the middle. I don't know. It's not yours.
This is me calling a friend of mine, one of my best friends. And this is the day after, this is January 8th, and I'm the flames all around me. And I'm just driving down my friend's street, and he was in Mexico. And I just was like, oh, shoot, I just drove by his house and it was completely gone, incinerated overnight. And I called him. I didn't know my cameraman was behind me rolling.
I think yours is gone, like gone. The whole neighborhood is absolutely devastated.
Like raised, like it's just...
No, it's like a bomb went off. It's like a movie. It's like a terrible movie starring Jake Gyllenhaal. It's like awful. I'm so sorry, buddy. I love you. I'm so sorry. You've been through so much with that place.
Thanks.
I'll send you the video of your street if you want to see it, but it's like...
I do. That way we can just skip.
I know.
You're behind me.
Yeah, I got a fire truck behind me. I got an ambulance behind me. Let me get out of the way. I'll send you this stuff, but I'm sorry, buddy.
Send it my way. You hear me still?
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me? I will.
Look at these such a beautiful neighborhood. One side of the street, okay.
That's a really good friend of mine right there.
Yeah.
And I just drove by his house.
Look at that.
And it's gone. And all of his neighbors, gone.
Look at this kid.
Jesus, what has happened?
Really? Really? Your life is that bad? You spoiled little shit? God. Oh, I hope they're merciless with this kid. Merciless. There's been a change. The DA in Los Angeles is now, they got rid of, Mr. Lightfoot, George Gascon, and this is a federal thing. So, he's going to get torched. I texted a guy I know pretty well, Rick Caruso, who should have been the mayor of Los Angeles when this all went down, but Los Angeles keeps doing things the same way. And so they elected Karen Bass, who's, in the spirit of kindness, not as strong as Rick Caruso, who knows the ins and outs of LA. He ran the LA DWP commission. He's, the police department. He's been involved in every aspect of Los Angeles, but on the entrepreneurial side, he knows the piping of the city. He knows. Anyway, we hope he runs for governor. It looks like, we're waiting on his announcement. He was supposed to be at the end of the summer. I don't know if he's going to do it, but I tried to text him because, he has a big Palisades village. He has a lot of property the real estate guy in the Palisades. I tried to get him to come on here. Anyway, that's that for now. We'll see what happened. But did you see Hot Mike's yesterday? We posted up yesterday. A lot of reaction to this episode. Wow. My buddy Harry Jacobs, a very good friend of mine. Oops. We love Harry. He's a beautiful guy. He's a very big guy. Known him forever. In fact, also a great friend of the man whose office I'm in. But Harry went through one of the most incredible ordeals, and he's like the Taylor Swift of true crime catfishing. He meets this woman. They fall in love years ago. They keep this 20-year relationship going. She moves on, gets married, has children, builds a family, reconnects with Harry. It's just me. My husband was abusive. I don't know. Help me. I'm a damsel in distress. She starts and they reconnect. They get engaged. She sends sonograms of their baby. Then she gets terribly sick with awful cancer. He flies to be by her, but he can't go to the hospital because, the disinfecting and there's germs and things. So he has to be a mile away. She's not in the hospital. She's in her home with her husband, but whipping down to the hospital. There's Harry staring at an empty hospital window like the woman of his dreams, the love of his life, is on the other side. Then guess what happens? The miscarriage. Oh no, I've lost our baby. This is the craziest story. And what Harry did, every other man she's done this to, and it seems like for sport, not to extort money really, but every other man she's done this to, hey, okay, I'll go to do that. Except Harry has a great history in radio. He's got an investigative nature to him. He's extremely intelligent. He turned this into one of the best podcasts that's out there that nobody really knows about on a grand level, except us right here. We're going to help blow it up. I produced it with him. It's called The Rachel Cancer Scam. Harry's with us right now. So many of the women, mostly. And are you in a bathrobe?
No, I'm wearing a pullover shirt.
A quarter zip. Okay.
A quarter zip. Yeah, you got all the names on the fashion, Bushy.
I thought Bushy. I love the way. Tell them how you say my name.
Bushy.
Bushy.
Bushy. Sometimes it's odd. Sometimes we'll sit in your backyard and be smoking a cigar, and I'll look at you, and I'll just, or I'll be looking at the stars, and I'll just say, Bushy.
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 Big guy. So much reaction to look. Oh, there's so many people. Let's get the hellos in there. Styling.
I'm so blown away by the comments. I almost went in there last night and started responding to everyone, and I thought Billy's going to think I'm a stalker if I'm talking to his people.
No, you get right in there, baby. These are our people. We're all a community here. There's no my people. These are my friends. My friends are your friends, Harry, as we know. Bring on your pineapple. Oh, Harry, they want you on the cruise. We have this wonderful dream as we're building our community that we're all going on an upside down pineapple cruise, and which is the sign of a swinger. I don't know that who knows? With enough pina coladas, there might be swinging. I don't know, but I don't want to know about it because I'm pretty conservative with my approach to things. But let's talk about this, Harry. The reaction is sort of instantaneous, kind of blowing up as we speak. And, I think I laid it out in a nutshell. I mean, I gave you the ChatGPT version, but it's, this is really taking a lot out of your life. Where are we? I explained to people, Rachel is still running around. She's faked the pregnancy. She's faked her cancer. She's faked, the miscarriage. The whole thing is a giant, big, fat lie. Is she running around right now, free as a bird?
Yeah, she is. It's very strange. I don't want to. Someone outed her yesterday. I don't want to talk about where it is. If you find her, you find her. But in the middle of this entire thing, as the podcast is out, hitting 1 million downloads, social media is going pretty well, she has the nerve to contact a local news affiliate on a story in her life and put herself on the news. And to me, the absolute idiocy, how inept could you be when her whole town is paying attention to this podcast? Do you know that in the first 90 days of my Instagram account, 120,000 people looked at my Instagram account? I only set it up for SLO County. Total population of the 2 towns she lived in is 90. Their entire town is talking about it. If you're
And she goes on the local news because there's something happening in another part of her life that she's like, oh my God, I'm so proud. It's me, Rachel. And did the reporter ever say, excuse me, aren't you the lady who faked cancer and suckered this man in and pretended to be pregnant and then killed, you said the baby died and, huh?
I did what you would be paying me to do if I worked for you. I picked up the phone and I called the reporter.
You did.
And I said, hey, my name's Harry. I'm running a little show called The Rachel Cancer Scam. This is a woman who, by the way, is telling the truth about the story she's telling you. But she ran for office in Santa Clarita in 2006 and embezzled campaign funds. She borrowed money or took money from Cap SLO in 2012 for the tune of $27,000, hasn't paid it. She owes him 90 now. I said, she got an EBT card 3 years ago in the middle of my cancer scam when her husband was making well into the 6 figures with his business. You may want to investigate Rachel. And she's like, oh, we'll take your information. I said, well, I got a podcast produced by Billy Bush. I've got a YouTube channel. I've got an Instagram. I got TikTok. How bold are you to put yourself on the news, hiding in plain sight? Hey, everybody, look at me. It's Rachel.
Oh my God.
That happened.
That happened.
That happened.
The audacity. And it's just so uncouth. So, tell people how Harry brought Rachel to my house. Harry brought my house, and I'm like, he's like, Bushy, you got to meet Rachel. We're so in love. I've never been in love like this. And I'm like, okay, great. Bring her over. We go out for dinner. We're down the street at my local place. I'm sitting in the back. I'm loving her. I'm like, God, this Rachel is fantastic.
She is such a convincing liar. You want to believe her and you want to believe in her. And when I walked in the front door with her at your house, she just puts on the charm, right? She's a beauty queen. She was in a couple of Miss Texas USA pageants. She's had, whatever those finishing programs are. So she learned all of those skills at being in those pageants, a couple national pageants, and she used them for malevolence. So she comes into your house and she's strolling in casually and nice and presents as a lawyer. You didn't have a suspicion.
No, a wealthy lawyer. She was a lawyer with who had about 20 million. There's what we, not that. And there was Harry's got his own dough, and this was just just an amazing coming together of people who are kind of forlorn, long lost lovers who are star-crossed, and they finally get back together and the whole thing. Then she goes on vacation to Mexico, right? She's in Mexico, and Harry calls me and he says, we got a problem. Rachel has COVID, and she's pregnant with our child, and she has cancer, and this is all terrible, and we've got to get her out of Mexico. Can you help in any way? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, what am I am I Carlos Slim? I don't know. I know this is Cancun, Mexico.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I know 2 guys in Cabo, Mexico, who are a family, and they're very influential there. And maybe they know somebody, that ways. I make the call and they're like, oh yeah, the hotel she's staying at, those are our boys. We know everybody there. We'll help you get her out. Then we find out she's gone.
Yeah.
She left.
It was an unbelievable shock when I got that message. And that's why I said, I did an interview for this podcast a month before it happened. And I was explaining the story to this reporter in San Luis Obispo. He said, what was the first red flag? I said, well, it was when Billy Bush tried to get Rachel out of Mexico in 2002. Billy said, she's not there. There's a problem. Call me. What's the problem? She's not there, bro. The girl you love is not there. I'll never forget this. And the reporter said, don't you think maybe you should have paid attention to that? I said, yeah, I should have listened to Billy Bush.
But I was so low. What is the name of the pod and his YouTube? The pod is called The Rachel Cancer Scam. Where should people go, Harry, if they want to get started?
Right here to YouTube, also Apple, Spotify, all those places. The YouTube is really where everything is these days.
Yeah, no kidding. Isn't that
So the Mexico thing, we find out she's pregnant on December 20th of 2021. The Mexico trip is a month later. We find out in that time that she's pregnant. She's got cancer. She's going to take a cancer pill, which will help protect the baby. And she decides she's going to start it in Mexico. She's got 4 daughters, by the way. And she starts taking the pill, and I'm worried that she's sick continuously, like throwing up is so
eye on the
common.
chat, Harry? Look at Karen
Yeah.
right there. She said every red flag. Can we admonish you a little bit for like?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go.
Can I call you a big dumb bastard because we're far away from each other and you can't hurt me?
I wrote a song about it, because we're talking about Taylor Swift, and I thought, I would just do. Actually, I didn't write a song about it. I'm just picking up on the Taylor Swift thing.
I think all of our ladies in here are falling in love with Harry. I think Harry, there's nothing a woman likes more than a little bit of a savior thing. If they can rescue Harry. You single guys need to run. These women, they need to run these women by us first. Okay.
Yeah, right. They need to be vetted. So the Mexico thing, I'm like, there's no way. And then she gets home from that. I proposed to her the day I see her after she gets home from Mexico. That's when I gave her the ring. And then she invents this unbelievable CPS thing about one of her daughters. And then I can't see her. The next time I see her is May. And then she goes into the hospital in June. In 18 months, I sit home. COVID taught us how to be virtual everything. You're not in the studio. I'm not in the studio. I did this. She texted me. I sent her a video. I picked up my guitar. I told her 80 stories. I wrote 80 daily love letters to her. I read her Grapes of Wrath. It took me 19 effing hours. 19 hours. I have it. 80 stories, 80 episodes of a thing called Harry Loves Rachel. It would be 43 hours, 43 episodes of television if it were a real television show. Yes, I see that, Joy. I have someone in my life for a year, and her connection to this story.
By the way, don't we love a man who throws that out there right away? Don't we love as soon as that comes in? There's nothing worse than the man who minimizes the girlfriend because he loves the attention from the ladies. That's not good. Mary, you heard what he said.
Harry and Lena. Lena's really cute.
Yeah, a little closer, please. A little closer to the camera. Oh yeah, wow.
And you were talking about short.
She looks like Hilaria. She looks like Hilaria Baldwin.
Hilaria.
No longer Dancing with the Stars. She's no longer Dancing with the Stars. Did you know Hilaria Baldwin is also Hillary from Boston?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Hilaria.
But I love Hilaria. If I was Alec Baldwin, I would want my Hillary to call herself Hilaria and walk around like this and say, "Oh my God, we're going to have some." Yeah, that would be fun.
I now identify.
What?
I now identify as a guy who never was scammed. So It's like EMDR. I identify as a non-scammed guy.
Yeah, I didn't get scammed. Me fall for that? This guy? But I mean, look, we don't expect, people in America did not expect crazy people to fly airplanes into the World Trade Centers, into buildings. Like, we don't think like that. The reason why you didn't see it is because you're a good person. You couldn't imagine a human coming in and telling unbelievably diabolical lies.
I knew her think about this, 21 years. I met her when I moved out here. You had just moved out. You and Sid had just moved out here. I remember seeing you during that time when I met her 25 years ago. And to have that kind of person be lying to you the whole time, were there red flags? There were. But when you love someone, all I wanted to do was love her, right? All I wanted to do was be by her side. And my some reading the comments. But all I wanted to do was love her and be with her. And that caused this unbelievable blind spot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Jana, I don't know. That's a little strong right there.
Hilarious,
That
Rachel.
comment is that's a
I don't
little
think she
rough.
is. By the
I-
way, she met and married Mark in 2002.
Her current husband.
Her current husband. She and Mark find out that their marriage is not a proper marriage because his divorce wasn't finalized. So Mark and Rachel go back a year later. And then Rachel, 9 months later, flies to Flint, Michigan and marries another dude.
What?
I have a marriage certificate.
Wait,
I
so
wish I could bring up a document. I have a document.
When do you meet her?
I met her before that. I was seeing her around that time.
And she married someone else, then flew to Michigan, married that guy.
If you, I don't want to confuse things. If you listen to the podcast, Rachel was connected to a guy named Bobby, and Bobby was a friend of this guy, Brian. Rachel meets. I'll do this for you simply. Rachel marries Mark. Rachel's still having an affair with this guy, Bobby, that she knows from Houston. Rachel marries Mark, flies out to Flint to see Bobby. They have one last fling, and Bobby breaks up with her. Rachel gets pissed. She flies back to Mark. Rachel, 6 months later, goes back out to Flint and connects with Bobby's friend, Brian. And Brian is a bartender. Rachel is so pissed about Bobby that Rachel flies back. I'm going to show you a marriage certificate. I'm
To hook up with Bobby's best friend to get back at Bobby when the whole time she's married to Mark.
7 months later, I have a marriage certificate. It's printing on my computer. It's stamped. Dude, she's a criminal.
Boy, would still be running amok with all this stuff if you weren't the only person to be like, yeah, here's the thing. I'm pissed, and I also have the wherewithal to tell stories, and that's what he's done. He's done it. It's an incredible thing. Oh, there's the marriage certificate. Oh boy, he's done all the work. This guy, I'm trying to get, by the way, I'm trying to get Harry on the Dan Abrams network because I know all of his people, the True Crime Network. I think after you're done with your story and they put it up there, you are the John Walsh of True Crime. You got to go and tell other stories for other people who have been screwed because they don't have the technical ability, the storytelling ability that you have. That's I've planned out, this is Harry's life. So I have a meeting with them tomorrow on that front. I'm just going to talk about it publicly. Why not? I don't care.
There's a question about charges. People are asking about, can she be charged for this criminally? What she did to me is a civil matter. It's what the lawyers call intentional infliction of emotional distress, right? She did this to me. She knew I was thinking about unaliving myself. She knew how bad it was at the end. She just kept doing it. But what she did do, and I alluded to this, is she set Mark up with a bunch of charges. She lied on 9 separate police reports. She sent herself texts through the app called Text Free, and then presented that material to a judge. That's how Mark got arrested. Mark is facing prison because he did an armed robbery in 1992 and spent 5 years in the joint. So he's already been once. He's an ex-felon. Good guy, reformed, church-going guy. But this story has such unbelievable tentacles to it. By the way, the police that arrested Mark are now testifying in court on Mark's behalf, and the judge won't let it go. And there's something going on in SLO County. I'm telling you, this is going to end up on Dateline. There's something from a corruption perspective, because I have police reports that show after 6 months after they arrested Mark that they realized Rachel was texting herself. So the police sent a report to there's no protein shake in here. Police sent that report to the district attorney's office. I confronted the district attorney's office in May and said she sent herself the text messages and she wiped her iCloud account after the police said they wanted her phone. She's a criminal. She is catch me if you can.
Whoa.
Real criminal activity, not to me, to others.
All right. Well, it's happening. It's there. Keith Morrison. Dateline. No, this is not. This is Harry's incredible story to tell. The Rachel cancer scam. Folks, check it out. Go to YouTube and let our man deal. Harry, I love you, baby.
Please follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to me on YouTube. I'm going to do a couple of lives coming up because I know people have questions now that my audience is building. And maybe like, one morning after you do yours, I'll go and do mine. Maybe you give me a little plug and I can answer more questions for people specifically. I know there are a ton of questions.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, Bill.
I love you again. Thank you so much for this.
All right, baby. I love you.
All right. Bye.
Can you believe this, folks? Can you believe this unbelievable shit? I mean, God almighty. And I've slapped him in the face a couple times. Harry, what are you, crazy? How the hell did you not see all this coming? Love is love, man. I love that he's able to love like that. I love that his heart's wide open like that he, flies down from, you know what I mean, Steve?
Yeah. I wanted to say, like, working with him, he's just a good dude, which is like, I think that's why the podcast and the story is so interesting. He's a sincerely good guy, like nothing hidden.
I think, well, Mary, that's interesting. I'm a retired flight attendant. I wondered if I knew her. She worked for an airline. I think she still does, by the way. Still does work for the airline, I think, whose initials are AA, out of that area. So that's interesting. Blinded by love. Yeah, Billy, tell us the truth. Did you get crazy vibes from Rachel when she came to your house? No. She was lovely. She was nice. She was sitting there. I'm like, hey, Rachel, what's up? Great to see you. And she was very sweet. And I'm like, Harry, I see, she's nice. Didn't get any kind of weird vibes. And I didn't know that I was sitting with a crazy person. Isn't that wild? Holy mackerel. Off topic. Today's my birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Steph. Happy birthday to you. The Bushman's birthday is Monday. You and I, Libra babies. Okay? Unbelievable. It's just incredible. It's incredible. All right, guys, have you heard about Dolly Parton? Oh, do we love Dolly? Islands in the stream. That is what we are. She was in that, right? She did the duet with Kenny. Nothing in between. How can we be wrong? Dolly Parton's sister puts out this pray for Dolly. And everyone's like, huh? Pray for Dolly? What's going on? Health scare with Dolly. Dolly posts up a video in reaction. We have a little bit of Dolly. She posts up, I ain't dead yet.
Everybody thinks that I am sicker than I am. Do I look sick to you? I'm working hard here. Anyway, I wanted to put everybody's mind at ease, those of you that seem to be real concerned, which I appreciate. And I appreciate your prayers because I'm a person of faith. I can always use the prayers for anything and everything. But I want you to know that I'm okay. I've got some problems, as I mentioned, back when my husband Carl was very sick. That was for a long time. And then when he passed, I didn't take care of myself. So I let a lot of things go that I should have been taken care of. So anyway, when I got around to it, the doctor said, we need to take care of this. We need to take care of that. Nothing major, but I did have to cancel some things so I could be closer to home, closer to Vanderbilt, where I'm kind of having a few treatments here and there. But I wanted you to know.
Oh, Dolly. We love Dolly. Yeah, I wonder what it is. Kidney stones, maybe? Something like that. Someone says kidney stones. Mama Roll, where the heck did you get that? Did you see that on some website? Kidney stones? Carl Dean, she lost her Carl. Sometimes your heart just starts to break when you've been married that long and in love that long as Dolly was. So fortunate to be. George H.W. Bush died after Barbara. Just died of a broken heart. This does happen. And speaking of, Dolly Parton says, you know what? I ain't dead yet. She said, I'm not dying. I'm not ready to die yet. I don't think God is through with me and I ain't done working. I love that. And it reminds me when she says I ain't dead yet, reminds me of when my Barbara Bush was dying, my cousin, her youngest son, George W.'s youngest son, called me and he said, yeah, it's just with my mom. I said, oh, hey, he just wanted to talk. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, I went in there, we each had some alone time with our mother, the legendary Barbara Bush. And there she is. And he said, I went in and she was laying there still and quiet. And, I thought, did the time just come and go? Did she just pass? And he goes over and he holds her hand and he slides his fingers up underneath her wrist to kind of check her pulse. And with that, her eyes shoot up and she goes, "I ain't dead yet. Nice try." Is that so Barbara Bush or what? Holy mackerel. Anyway, Dolly's sister, Frida, she said, I was up all night praying for my sister. We need prayer warriors for Dolly. And I think if you love Dolly like I do, we'll join in on that. What else is going? Giants versus Eagles tonight. How much pain am I in for? Are these guys going to roll up the New Jersey Turnpike and just kick the shit out of us? I hope not. God, I can't take it anymore. It's just so we get a little bit of excitement out of Jackson Dart. We do a great job with the Chargers and win a game against a team that's really strong. And then collapse immediately after. Here we go tonight. I do the Prize Picks app. It's really fun, really easy. You can just get 2 or more players and, you take a look at their projected stats and you just say more or less. So, like anyone can do it. Let's look at the 2 quarterbacks tonight, or let's see, what do we have up there, Steve? Like, for example, okay, there you go. You got Jalen Hurts and Jackson Dart. This is the easiest bet ever. $20 just to win $34. Okay, this is, training wheels stuff. Jalen Hurts, 0.5 passing touchdowns. So all he needs to do is throw 1 touchdown. I say he'll do that. I say Jackson Dart will do the same. Done. Okay. So I register that. But then we'll get a little bit more. We'll get Saquon Barkley into it, the running back for the Eagles, who used to be for the Giants. What does that say right there, Steve? My glasses are bad. Is that 85?
Yeah, that's 85, over 85.5.
85.5. I think he will do that. I said he'll do more than that. Yeah. And Jackson Dart, 177.5 yards passing. I think he'll do more than that. I think he bounces back big time. Actually, I think he breaks 250. I think it's a big night for Dart, frankly. But do we beat the Eagles? I don't know. Anyway, that's Prize Picks. So if you want to do it, you can do it in Maine here. Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you get $50. Easy. Promo code Hot Mics. Throw it in there. Download that app. Get on it. It's fun. It's the 20th anniversary of Tom Cruise. I saw something interesting the other day. Remember Tom Cruise? Like, he did the Oprah, jumping on Oprah's couch. And then he had that interview with Matt Lauer. I don't want to play the whole thing, Steve, but just to refresh people, this is 20 years ago.
Where I talk out against drugs and psychiatric abuses, of electric shocking people, okay, against their will, of drugging children with them not knowing the effects of these drugs. Do you know what Adderall is? Do you know Ritalin? Do you know now that Ritalin is a street drug? Do you understand that?
The difference is this was not against her will, though. But this wasn't against her will.
Matt, I'm asking you a question.
I understand there's abuse of all of these things.
No, you see, here's the problem. You don't know the history of psychiatry. I do. All it does is mask the problem, Matt. And if you understand the history of it.
Okay, so do you guys know that whole thing started with me? Matt Lauer would never have gotten into psychotropic drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, Ritalin, Adderall, all the drugs that kids are taking. He never, ever would have gotten into that if I didn't write a letter to Tom Cruise 2 months before saying, every time I'm with you, we ask about, who are you dating? Who are this? You don't really ever talk about it. It's you always kind of allude to Scientology and always read about you and Scientology. So I said, listen, I've convinced the people that run Access Hollywood to give me a half an hour. Give me the whole format. Forget all the little stories, one after the other we do every night. Give me the whole show and let me do a special on you and everything that you're interested in. And he was like, oh my God. His people contact me and they say, you got to go and visit every one of the Scientology centers in Los Angeles, of which there are 4. One dedicated to human rights, one is education, the other's, drugs and detox, and the other's the celebrity center where they gather everybody. So I go, and it's got a vibe, this place. Woohoo! And I complete the research. And then Tom Cruise and I sit down and we do an interview that ends up being a half an hour special. And then 2 days later, Matt Lauer has that interview, but that's where we talked about these drugs and specifically Brooke Shields taking them. Do you remember that? I'm the one that said, well, wait a minute. The first movie you did, Endless Love with Brooke Shields, I assume you're still friends. And, you know, she says the drug Paxil helped her through postpartum. Is she wrong? Then he said what he said about Brooke Shields and it went off. Anyway, Matt Lauer follows up on that. That whole thing began. That was 20 years ago. I'll never forget that letter from from Tom Cruise to me. Billy, what an upstanding man you are. What a great journalist. I didn't know. Oh my God, what a man. And that thing just went, woo, blew up. But that was 20 years ago. Somebody just posted that and said the other day, you know what? 20 years later, Tom Cruise is right. Let that sit. Is he? The Ritalin, the Adderall, the Jesus, our kids are on everything but roller skates. Was he a little before his time? I don't know. Interesting. Let that sit for a second. Holy shit. Well, look at this. Sharon, you said it. Yeah. Where's Matt Lauer now? I don't know. I think he's out there in the Hamptons, you know, Amagansett, one of those nice places, hitting the farmer's market, probably dating a beautiful, beautiful woman who could care less about the past, just loves that wooden boat that they go out on in the Amagansett Bay or wherever. I don't know. I'm making all this up. I have no idea. Isn't that incredible, though? Just how time flies. The other day, oh, God, yesterday, driving up to my brother's announcement for governor, I'm on the phone. Guess who calls me? Charlie Sheen calls me. I'd sent him a text 2 weeks ago, and he just found it. And so Sheen and I had this 15-minute conversation. My buddy Pete, who's in a meeting out there, he's driving. And I put it on speaker so he could get a laugh. Charlie Sheen, I'm telling you something. With all the brain cells that this man has fried, he did not miss a beat. He remembers winning, remembers every detail of a dinner we had 4 years ago, 6 years ago. Every detail. He said, yeah, and your daughter, it was the night that Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns speared the quarterback Randolph in the helmet for the Steelers. I was like, how do you remember that? Yeah, and then your daughter called. And I was like, what? Charlie Sheen, Tiger Blood. His book is out there, by the way. I'm in the middle of it. It's really good. I mean, the documentary is good, but the book is really, really good. So if you're interested in a fucking story that's just, boy, the fact that this man is not just 8 years sober. I feel like Tiger Blood was 5 years ago. Speaking of time flies, no kidding, right? Unbelievable. Charlie, we love Charlie. I always say about Charlie, I'll always love Charlie no matter. That's right, Kel. You know why? Because he falls on the sword. Charlie's never feeding you a line of bullshit. You know, if he's done something, he's like, yeah, it was me. I did it. Sorry, screwed up again. And so you love him because he's authentic and he's honest. Yeah, we'll see. Reno, oh yeah, we're working on that. I might be coming up to Reno with Charlie on a little bit of a project, so that could be fun. We'll see what happens. Anyway, downtown Portland. Just want to give you one more view here of downtown Portland, Maine. It's just gorgeous. Yeah, there's a little view right there. That wraps into town, goes right around the corner into town there, around that bend, and it really gets beautiful.
Billy, where's the, what is it? What was the district, the gas lamp, like the gas lamp district, the drinking streets in there? Are you near there?
Yeah.
By the water?
Yeah. Are you thinking about San Diego when you say the gas lamp?
Yeah, no, I know San Diego's gas lamp, but there's a section in Portland where all the bars are.
Yeah, Yeah, it's. I forgot. Is it Gaslamp? I think it might be Gaslamp. I don't know, but it's cobblestone streets and it's
yes,
it's old pubs. It's old pubs. Yeah, too early for that, by the way. Back to New York for the weekend for me. Psilocybin journey number 2.
Is that tomorrow, Billy? I forgot. Or Saturday? Tomorrow.
It's Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Right. We'll see. You know what I mean? Done, baby. Love you. Thank you so much. Good to talk to Harry. His story's wild. Listen to Hot Mics from yesterday, and if you haven't listened to that, it's pretty darn interesting. Dolly Parton, we love you, baby. Praying for you. And holy mackerel, my brother's got 390 more days of campaigning. See if he becomes the next governor of the great state of Maine. Steve, love you, pal. Ta-ta.
Mwah.
Have a wonderful weekend. Y'all have a good one. Love you. See you on the socials. Hey. Got a water. Got a hydrate.